Let's talk about fats. What are EPAs, DHAs, and ALAs?
Omega-3 is really a big deal in my cardiology practice
Yes.
because there is a blood test to measure blood omega-3 levels, and I've drawn it on thousands of people. And if you're plant-based, I'm concerned. If you're meat-based, I'm concerned. If you're a salmon eater, you're probably okay, but I'm going to see mercury in your blood, and I'm concerned. So I'm concerned. We can't make omega-3. There's things we make, coenzyme Q10 we make. We can't make omega-3. Brain function needs it. Membrane function needs it. It helps control your cholesterol. It helps joint function. It's an important nutrient, and it is a challenge. I mean, you got to plan for omega-3. So many of my patients are horribly deficient, and it has multiple implications on their blood panel. Their triglycerides are up, and their cholesterol's off, and their blood sugar's off. And if I correct one thing, get their omega-3 portion of their diet down, I see the whole lab panel get better. So it really is like really my central core. How do you do it? You do it by increasing the ALA that you mentioned, which is to do the chia seeds, hemp hearts, and the ground flax seeds, as much as you want to bomb into your diet, but at least 2 tablespoons a day of ground flax seed. In that smoothie, which I'm okay with, in the oatmeal, in the overnight chia pudding, in the overnight oats, on a salad and soup. I think it's, ground flax seeds, pretty tasty stuff. That's for sure. Walnuts and Brazil nuts are the number 1 and number 2 most omega-3 rich nuts. Almonds, forget about it. Forget about it. Forget about it. There's like no omega-3 in an almond. There's other reasons to eat almonds and pistachios, but there's not much there. Leafy greens are good. And then you get into these weird algae things that are not so weird anymore. Chlorella and spirulina, particularly chlorella. I love chlorella. Chlorella and algae, you can take literally a handful of tablets as kind of you can buy it in a health food store, of course. But it's very rich in protein from a plant, very rich in vitamin C from a plant, very rich in omega-3 because it's algae-based, which is what the little fishies are eating. So I'm a big fan of chlorella, which is an unusual additive to the diet. But it's what I keep saying, we live in a world that didn't exist 20 years ago in terms of toxicity, so you protect yourself. Then the omega-3 blood level comes up, and bada boom, bada bing, you look at everything else, it's better.
What am I going to do with you?
I don't know. Take me home to LA and feed me well.
Is it true that our bodies have a hard time converting omegas to DHA and EPAs?
Well, it's a really good question you ask, and there actually is controversy. The overwhelming answer is yes, it's difficult. If you start with 100 drops of ALA, maybe 2, 3, 4, 5% end up being EPA, DHA to be active. And therefore, let's add to the body capsules or liquids that have EPA, DHA preformed. And that is something new in the last 5 years. There's at least a dozen varieties of capsules for vegans that have preformed EPA, DHA, basically the fish oil capsule, but it's algae-based. And they're getting more and more potent. They're not as potent. The really good fish oil capsule has 1,000 milligrams of EPA, DHA. There's about 500, 600 milligram brands out now of algae-based pure vegan. Don't have to worry about mercury and some of the contaminants, and they're reasonably priced. So we're getting there. Now, there is an interesting school of thought that says Mother Nature knows what she's doing, and if you eat a clean diet, the body will convert what it needs. It's kind of like a still. You put it at the top, and it drips out slowly what you need. It's unresolved. I actually favor the first issue of using food-based omega-3 precursors, adding in for all plant eaters a little bit of a capsule of omega-3 or a liquid like Dr. Michael Greger does recommend, and I buy into that because the blood levels are driving me that people are just terribly deficient. And there are some long-term brain health implications to running deficient in omega-3 long-term. I can't remember where I read that, but somewhere there's something about memory. I'm just joking. I do a lot of omega-3. Yeah.
You're too smart for your own good. You know that, right?
I know a lot of stuff, but I share it freely.